We continue learning Kitzur Yomi in the middle of Simin Lamid Zayin, the halachas of Tevilas Keilim, and we pick it up from Sif Yud. Says the Kitzur Shikla Shki goes my Tevilah Sheyah clean. Now before you table a kli, you have to make sure it's clean. Cannot have dirt or rust on it. Chaluda, but a mark of rust. Or a little bit of blackness, which is normal. You don't care about it. Very important. Einoi mazik. But again, if you're going to care about it and you're going to try after you table it to remove that little bit of sticky, then of course you have to move it before you table it. So you have to table the entire kli at one time. It all has to be in the water. If it has a handle, has to be with the handle in the water. One who tables a kli, holds in his hand. First, dip your hand into the mikvah. Don't hold on to the kli with strength. How do you hold on to it? Hold on to the kli loosely. If you're tabling on with a rope, you're in a well, so you got to lower it all the way down with a rope. You want a loose knot. Why? Because the water has to touch every single bit of the kli. So now, let's say you have a narrow opening, a bottle or something like that. So got to be careful, fill it up. The whole thing has to be filled with water, because if not, the water has to touch everything on the inside and the outside. And if it's not fully filled with water, the water will not be touching every bit of the kli. So the eitzah is you first fill it up with water, and then you dunk it in the mik. The water is touched, and then every bit of it will be having water touching it. Katan, a child, a katana, or a girl child, ayin lekaman, in Tevilas Keilim, they cannot have an amanas as a din daraisa. But no 31 points out, but if an adult is watching them, then it will be okay. Sif yud gimel aslatul kli b'shabbos v'yom tif. But v'mshach latzvi l'mikaydim, what do you do now? Yitnei olenachi b'matana, give it to the guy as a gift. And borrow it back from him if you have no other choice. Place you can carry Yishuv by Mayim. If you have the base, so draw a little bit of water, bring it to your house, and that's going to effectively be a tvila with harama, which you could do. Won't look like that you're tiveling the kli. You don't make a bracha on it on Shabbos and Yantif. And we move on to Simin Lamil Chas, the halachas of Bishul Akum, Pas Akum, Cholav Akum. Says the Kitzur Sif Aleph. Today we're going to start with Pas Akum. Sif Aleph says the Kitzur also Chalam Nechel Pashal Akum. Bread of a guy you're not allowed to eat. There are places that were mekel. Pas, what were they mekel on? Only bread of a nachtoim, of a baker of an akum shein b'yisham nachlim Yisrael. Even if it is a Jewish baker, the Jewish bread is not as beautiful, not as good. But the bread of a guy's house, ein meikilim, you can never eat. Ach v'shasat let's mamish to shver matzif. Mishu baderech, and we also ask pas kosher. If you could get pas kosher, you should delay up until a parsa to get pas kosher. So you have to wait until a parsa, potentially, to get bread that is kosher, bread by a yid. So what makes it called pas balabais? Says the Kitzur, if the guy made it for his household, if he made it to sell, then mikri nachtom, and then it's going to be mutter maker adi nafal pishin darke bekach, even though he's not necessarily a baker. Similarly, if a baker makes for his household mikri balabayis, meaning it's not if he is a baker by profession or not. It's totally what did he make the bread for? Did he make it for his house or he made it to sell? And of course, this goes into the lave, the heart, the crux of the whole gezira of pas balabayis, of pas v'goy, which is what? We don't want chasanas, we don't want intermarriage, we don't want closeness. So if it's made for him to sell, it removes that stigma. If it's made for his household, then it doesn't. Yesh b'shayim, those that say, if there's no baker, so the Kitzur says that mamish in the shvera matziv, you could eat pas balabais. Let's just remind ourselves that this has nothing to do with the esem kashrus. we're talking about buying things from a guy and wondering, what do you mean? How do you know what he put in there? Maybe there's some lard in the bread. The starting block over here is that you know, and this was because bread for eternity was the simplest of foods, it's flour and water and a little bit of yeast, is that you know the ingredients are kosher. Now the question is, okay, the ingredients are kosher, what do we do with the fact that it was baked by a guy? That's what we're discussing, and we're learning that pas balabayis, we'll call it shasat chak. Pas nachtoim, the pas palter, the bread of a baker, as we'll see, me'ikr adin is mutter, but let's see further. Sif beis. Now you want to know, how do you make a pas Yisrael? Misal hishal chafilu rak eitz echri. You put a little bit of wood in the fire. Letoich atanur besikoi mutter apas love pas akum. So the moment that there's any level of Yiddish involvement, stokes the fire, turns on the fire a little bit, it's pas Yisrael. Sef gimel asur pashal akum l'shal chamishin mini dagim, of the 5 grains, aval pas kidneys, legumes, corn, etc. Enable chalbas, not called bas. Vegamin also mishum bishul akum. It's also not going to be bishul akum, as we'll see in a few moments. Why not? Because one of the conditions for bishul akum is that it has to be a chosh of a bread, chosh of a food, and these types of cornbread, etc., is not going to be a chosh of a food. Now, if it is, that's a subjective detail, as we'll see, then it could potentially be a problem. Sif dalad pasha panam tuchim bebeitim aser. Bread that is coated with eggs is aser misham beitim love, because of the eggs on it. Tahavili bishul akum, on the eggs. Voisin rekikish levan ala barzel, wafers, pancakes that are made on griddles. Vishlach shimshach barzel beza shemen. Maybe there's some oil on it. Asur b'cholini misham b'lias iser. As we pointed out, that this whole halacha only starts if you know that everything is kosher. Siv hey pasi shel shafel ba'akum. If we have bread of a Jew that was baked by a guy, the guy baked a Jew's dough. Garami pas akum. It's even worse. This is going to be important, because if someone has a cleaning lady in their house and the cleaning lady goes and turns on the oven and puts the bread in, it's going to be mamish aser imloi, of course. So that's the yid turned on the oven. One has to be careful of this when sending food to be baked by the baker. He put something into the oven. So that is pas akum. It's interesting that the Kitzur really leaves it very pariv, that the Kitzur says is different minahagim, and if there's no other bread as good as it, then it's going to be fine. Lamaisa, we should point out, as we skipped over in note 5, it points out that on Shabbos the Mishnah Berurah says we should not eat pas akum. That's number 1. Now, what is pas akum? In reality, is any bread that's going to have a regular hechsher is going to be pas akum. Any OU bread, unless it says pas Yisrael, any entomins or the like, any of these cookies, etc., regular OU, I'm not using OU, any hechsher is going to be pas palter. And therefore, on Shabbos, one should be machmir, not just the seres tshuva, as we know. Additionally, if it's not pas yafeh, if the Jewish bread is as good, then we'll leave it as a shayla. There's certainly a reason to be machmir. We're also seeing that it's correct, then you could be mekel on pas Yisrael. We move it over to Sif Vav. Now we're going to Bishul Akum. Something that is not eaten raw. Was a basel apart. Perish a Bishul Akum that's made by a guy. It's made in my house with my Keilim. Everything is kosher, but it's made by the guy, and it's an item that's not eaten raw. In exclusion, if the guy boils up water, it's eaten raw, so there's no Bishul Akum. It's Ayla Shulchan Lachem, it's something chashiv. An exclusion, a garbage type of food that wouldn't be fit on a chashiv table. Then, also Bishul Akum. As we just pointed out, Davashu Ein Chashiv, Vein Ayla Shulchan Lachem, Ein by Bishul Akum. Vein Lachash La Keilim, Distam Keilim Einan B'nei Yomi. We'll just point out one of the biggest machlaikisim. We talk about Ayla Shulchan Lachem is going to be potato chips. So one might say, potato chips, of course, is not Ayla Shulchan Lachem. That's not a chash of a food. And that's what many kashrus agencies, Rebelsky takes on, that potato chips and the like are snacks, are not Ayla Shulchan Lachem. However, Lamaisa, Ramesha Feinstein, famously holds that no, potato chips are just, it's like a potato, it's like a fry. It says there, Ramesha, there is a chash Bishul Akum. I actually had this chus to see Rav Ruven Feinstein in an event in which they served as the main course. It was a chasana type event. It was steak and potato chips. It was a fancy chip, but it was basically a chip. And Rav Ruven remarked that this is l'chayra, what his father had in mind, that Lamaisa, there is a concern. And finally, we continue with Siv Zayin. Shivcha Akum Beis Yisrael, a big potential kula. Hamavashbal Shilva Yisraelim noyeg in lahakil. The Kitzur says we're noyeg to be mekel. Now, note 26 says you got to be have yitziv nichnas. It's not so simple. Says the Kitzur. Why? Because someone, of course, touched the fire. So now the question is, let's say I know I didn't touch the fire, and just the cleaning lady cooked it. It would sound like we do not have this leniency. If the maid cooks for herself in Regil Sheichati Yisrael, sure, it might not even help. The Garamei Bishul Yisrael. In Bishul Bishul Akum, Loy Levada Tav Shel Aser, like Gam Kedirnes, Eres Lavash Lechatchila, but Yevid Yasser Shilas Chacham. And from here we're seeing how far Bishul Akum goes, that if the cleaning lady cooks for herself, or maybe even for me, and Nayid doesn't stoke the fire, it's not so simple. Not only is it going to be not kosher, but the pot potentially will be usher as well. We'll pick it up from Siftas in the next year. B'siyata Dishmaya.